Hi, I'm Andrew from Yum Paleo, and today we're going to be doing a really easy lamb dish. We've got a couple of small boneless lamb legs here, and we're going to do this with a really yummy not a potato, we're doing this with a pumpkin and coriander rosti, which is kind of like a little cake thing. So anyway, first things first, what we've got here is about 1.5 pounds of fresh lamb meat, or just two small boneless lamb legs. So we're just going to bring them down here onto the board. And the trick here is we're just going to put a little bit, actually I'm going to pop them straight into the pan. I've got some fresh rosemary, which is always delicious when you're cooking lamb. And I'm just going to lay those out. I'm just going to pluck a couple of those leaves off. And we're just going to lay this out onto the dish itself and put these two little lamb legs straight on top. And what I'm going to do is just pour a wee bit of oil over the top of that lamb and around it, just to that. And I'm going to season that with a little bit of cracked black pepper. Put a little bit more rosemary straight over the top of the lamb, like so. It's really simple. The idea with the lamb is you leave it at room temperature for a few minutes before you start, so it's nice and soft and lovely looking. So just pop it in like that, and we're going to put that into a preheated oven that's set at around 180 degrees, which is 360 degrees Fahrenheit. And the idea is that we're going to cook this for around 30 minutes. So it's about 25 minutes per pound. So it's going to be just over half an hour. And then we'll pull it out and we'll let it rest for 10 minutes. So we're going to get that started now. So pop that in there. That's coming along nicely. Just going to grab a cloth. And I'm just going to rinse that board down before we make a start on our rosti. So this is a really simple sort of 30-minute prep dish. Does take a little bit longer. Off screen, what I have done in terms of creating the rosti, I have chopped and grated half of a pumpkin, and that's just gone straight into the bowl there. And we're going to add a little bit of egg into it to help bind it, and a little bit of coriander, and then we're going to set to and start cooking these rostis. Now the trick with these is we can be doing this in the 30 or so minutes that the lamb is cooking. So what we're going to do is, we've got that half there, set that bowl to one side. You can use dried coriander if you get really stark. However, my preference, where possible, is to use fresh. So we're just going to find where I've put my knife. There it is. So we're just going to scrunch that up, and we're just going to run the knife through it just to chop it, and immediately it just releases that amazing coriander bouquet. So that's about right. So we're just talking about a small handful, because coriander goes really nicely with pumpkin, and we're just going to mix that up. Don't be scared about getting your hands in there to help that through. And we're just going to crack a couple of eggs and put that straight into it as well. And the egg is really just there to help bind it. So because we've got quite a reasonable amount, I'm actually going to put in 3 eggs to start with, and then just see how that looks once we've stirred that in. So that's actually binding quite nicely. 3 eggs is about a good amount here, but you just sort of need to exercise a little bit of discretion when doing that. Sometimes cooking is as much about sort of touch and feel as it is about following a recipe. So if your amount of pumpkin sort of doesn't look quite right and you think it might need a little bit more egg, feel free to throw one in. I'm pretty happy with that. So I've got some asparagus here as well, and I'm going to put that on and just boil it very lightly. Alternately, you can char grill it in a pan. However, I don't really have time to deal with that, so I'm just going to put it on behind me and I'm going to set it going and just cook it lightly. So I just want to get the pan of water going first, the pot of water before we get the asparagus into that. Yep, it's got a good burn on it, so I'll just pop that lid on and let that boil away. So remember, you chop the bottoms off or snap them off, so I've just got them sitting ready. Now we're cooking this for around 5 people, so 4 to 5 people. So obviously you can adjust those quantities to suit if you're doing for more or for less. Let's move that coriander out of the way. So just going to put a wee bit of oil into that pan. Just let that heat. The trick here is just to work it into a round shape and sort of keep it as tight as you can, and then just compress it down just to push it together. Okay, so it's been half an hour and I've taken this lamb out of the oven and it's just cooked beautifully. It's actually been about 35 minutes, and as you can see from this, it's just beautifully done and it's nice and tender. It's slightly on the rare side, sort of probably more medium I guess than rare, but it's come up beautifully. So I've served that and I've put some asparagus in there as well as a side salad, which just has a few salad greens, a little bit of walnut, a couple of just small cherry tomatoes chopped in there, and then I've just drizzled a little bit of lemon juice and oil over the top just to zest that side salad up. So there we have it. We've got a yummy lamb fillet with asparagus and a delicious pumpkin and coriander rosti. So really hope you enjoy that, guys. Look forward to you trying this out, and I'll see you back here next time at Yum Paleo for another delicious recipe. See you then.